The passageways and damp walls were enough to make even the most avid adventurer claustrophobic. The stories and history of the catacombs of Paris were not common knowledge. Nonetheless, Chen and Kloss did know they were hundreds of years old and were initially built to bury the dead bodies filling the streets of Paris above.
Are you sure about what you saw?
Oui, monsieur. It's just a little further.
I don't know about this. I'm getting an odd vibe, like he enjoys being down here.
We've gone this far. A little further won't kill you.
Famous last words. The passages and tunnel system grew narrower, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the walls and ceiling. Up ahead, their guide Theo came to a halt.
I worked down here for years. This was a wall, but a few weeks ago the demolition above ground must have cracked it. That's when I found it.
Kloss stepped forward to the gap in the wall, shining his flashlight inside.
Okay, let's go through. Chen?
Chen stepped forward.
You mean to go in?
Of course.
Are you sure? The gap is too small for you, I think.
Come on, Theo. I'm a small guy. With a wink, Chen raised his leg and leveled a firm kick at the wall. It came crumbling down, dust and debris scattering everywhere.
Welcome back. Today I bring you SCP-1702, the French Hive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.
James Subtle Chen, what would we do without you?
You want it in? You're in. As the dust settled, Kloss crawled through the gap into a cavernously large room.
What in the...
Before him stood a giant beehive, close to 100 feet tall. Chen slowly stepped forward, Kloss reaching an arm out.
Be careful, Chen. We're not alone.
Coming from within the hive and around its sides, a few women appeared from the darkness. Bonjour, ¿cómo está?
Hold up, Chen. They aren't human.
As they slowly approached, they could make out what looked like antennae and a honeycomb-like pattern on parts of their body. From between the women at the front of the hive, a tall, elegant lady came forward towards them. She must have stood over 2 meters tall and was dressed in what appeared to be some sort of honeycomb evening dress. Across her cheek, a small scar.
Who are you?
We aren't here to harm you. You can call me Kloss, and this is Chen. The guy back there, that's Theo.
You have the honor of addressing the queen of this hive.
As she spoke, she swooned and stood uneasy. Her maidens came forth to steady her. It was a colony of some sort of hybrid bee humans. Do you really think you can convince them to come back with us? I mean, they've probably been down there for ages, maybe even before the catacombs.
They've already agreed.
What? How?
The hive is right under the site of the demolitions. One way or another, that hive will be destroyed soon. Our protection is their best option. Thank you for coming with us. I know it can't be easy to leave your home.
Home? The colony can always build another. What's important is the progeny. You must stay strong.
She swooned again as her maidens helped her to a seat. Kloss walked back to his seat. Why did she always appear intoxicated? He had more questions than answers for the time being. The initial construction of the hive had started before they had arrived. Progress was fast. It would soon be able to house the colony. The remainder of the work would be conducted by the Queen's workers. They could produce a bone-like material used to build their hive. But they needed to consume human flesh in order to do so. The majority of the hive's inhabitants were traveling by plane. There were over 300 of them. The Queen had come with only a handful of handmaidens to take care of her. Even as they traveled, she still had to meet her quota, 30 eggs per day.
Dr. Kloss?
Dr. Colette. Interested to meet our new client?
Very.
Well, let's get started then.
They walked to where the Queen was standing, near the new hive.
Your Majesty, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Colette. She'll be taking over soon and seeing to your needs.
Very nice to meet you.
The Queen slurred her words.
Ah, yes, and you. What a lovely brooch that is.
Colette looked at Kloss. Was the Queen always so drunk? Her eyes suddenly focused, a look of panic in them.
Help me! I need to get out! Help me, please!
Her handmaidens immediately swarmed around her, dragging her back to the hive as she screamed and called out. Kloss moved towards the queen, but was stopped by a maiden. The warning was clear. Stay back.
That was odd. What do you think it meant?
I don't know. It's really very perplexing. I'm hoping that Pythia can shed some light on the situation. Perhaps something in the past might help to explain the current situation.
Ah, the Catacombs of Paris. What a romantic place. One time, Lucius and I.
Lucius and you? Don't stop now. Keep going.
Perhaps that's a story for another day. Come, boys. Let's see what we can see, shall we?
They stepped forward, reaching towards the glass. They were in the catacombs once again. Above them, they could hear air sirens and bombs going off. The sounds of planes and people screaming. It must have been during the Second World War. They heard hushed voices in the distance. Sat at a small table was a young woman. Across from her, a tall shadow sat. Behind the tall figure, a few women stood, the antennae in their heads, almost disguised by their hoods. The young woman reached across the table and shook the tall figure's hand. The tall figure stood up. It was the queen. She looked identical. She was the same age now as 80 years ago. The only thing missing was her scar. How's that possible? She hasn't aged a day.
Yeah. Doesn't seem right, does it? Get Colette. I want to speak to the queen again.
The handmaidens didn't seem pleased about the scientists seeing their queen a second time so soon. Or perhaps they were worried about what another outburst from their queen could mean.
You asked for me, Dr. Kloss?
Dr. Colette stood behind Kloss and Chen, an agent by her side.
Let's push her. I want to see if we can find out more about what happened earlier.
As they approached the queen, she stood to greet them, unbalanced and apparently intoxicated once again.
Your Majesty, you asked for our help earlier.
I did? I don't recall. Well...
Her eyes suddenly focused.
Yes, help me. I don't want to. Not anymore.
Her handmaidens pounced on her, dragging her back once again to the hive.
Stop, you're hurting her. Stop.
Colette ran after the queen, her escort in tow. But it was too late. They had all disappeared into the hive, and the remaining handmaidens barred their way. How long's it been?
Over a month.
Well, I guess we can assume Dr. Colette and Agent Franks have been recycled into the hive.
Unfortunately so. Nonetheless, I want a closer look inside the hive now that they're finally speaking to us again.
2 agents came into the room, one carrying a flash drive recovered from Agent Frank's body camera. Kloss played the short recording back. It was awful. The Queen's handmaidens had torn Agent Franks and the Queen to bits. There was hardly anything left of either of them, but no sign of Dr. Colette. Disgusting.
Let's go speak to the handmaidens.
As they approached the hive, they saw the handmaidens on guard at the entrance. From within, a tall, shadowy figure stepped forth to greet them. It was the Queen. How was this possible? They had seen her die on the body cam footage. She smiled at them with her scarless face, fingers playing with a red brooch around her neck. SCP-1702 is a species of apian humanoids consisting of a hive with a single fertile queen and several hundred sterile workers. SCP-1702 specimens have an appearance analogous to normal humans, with the notable exception of several prominent apian structures, including antennae extending from their head and chitinous skin along their backs and limbs. SCP-1702 also have similar internal physiology with the notable addition of a compound stomach with a chamber capable of processing organic material and raw minerals into a substance resembling human bone that can then be regurgitated and used in hive construction and repairs. SCP-1702-1 is the Queen, a large, fertile female approximately 2.1 meters in length, and the only member of SCP-1702 capable of reproduction, typically laying up to 30 eggs per day. Highly intelligent, SCP-1702-1 is capable of communicating with personnel in a previously unknown dialect of French, and has proven highly cooperative, as well as being the source of most of our knowledge regarding SCP-1702's behavior and hive mechanics. SCP-1702-2 are male specimens, which are only present during the beginning of a mating cycle and have only been encountered once while in Foundation containment. SCP-1702-2 appear to be only minimally intelligent and do not respond to attempts to communicate by Foundation personnel. At the end of the mating cycle, all SCP-1702-2 specimens were systematically driven away from the hive or killed. SCP-1702-3 are sterile female workers, currently approximately 340 in number, responsible for construction and cleaning of the hive's physical structure and nurturing young. SCP-1702-3 also tend to SCP-1702-1 and are responsible for feeding, cleaning, grooming, and inducing egg-laying in the queen. SCP-1702-3 appear to be highly intelligent and capable of complex problem-solving and logistics, but appear to have vestigial vocal cords and have not responded to attempts to communicate. SCP-1702-3 only have a lifespan of approximately 5 years.
SCP-1702 is contained in a sealed, repurposed hangar at Humanoid Containment Site 06-3, which has been fitted with reinforced concrete honeycomb structures. SCP-1702 is to be provided 500 kilos of food and mineral supplements daily via automated delivery systems, consisting of material as outlined in Document 1702-06. Just because someone appears to be happy, successful, rich, don't assume their life is all it seems. As always, have a care, and remember to subscribe, like, and share, if you would. Until next time, farewell.